You already know sleep is important. You've heard it 1,000 times, from your doctor, from wellness experts, from that one friend who bought a sunrise alarm clock and won't stop talking about it. And yet, you're still tired. Every morning, despite being in bed for what feels like enough hours. Despite doing everything roughly right, here's the thing nobody tells you. Sleep isn't just about how long you're in bed. It's about what you're doing in the hours before, the environment you're sleeping in, and the habits you've built around it, most of which are quietly working against you while you lie there, wondering why you feel like a poorly assembled human being. These are the 12 most common sleep mistakes people make, what they're actually doing to your body, and exactly how to fix them. Mistake 1. Scrolling your phone in bed. Your brain has one job when night arrives: produce melatonin, the hormone that tells every system in your body that it's time to wind down and sleep. It does this in response to one thing, above everything else: darkness. Here's the problem. Your phone screen produces blue light, and your brain cannot tell the difference between blue light from your phone and blue light from the actual sun. To your brain, your phone at 11 p.m. and the sun at noon look almost identical. So it does the logical thing. It stops producing melatonin. It thinks it's midday. It starts waking you up instead of winding you down. Research shows that just 2 hours of screen exposure before bed can reduce melatonin production by up to 23%. That's not a small dip. That's your body's sleep signal being cut nearly in half because you were watching videos of people cooking pasta. The fix: stop screens 30 to 60 minutes before bed. If that feels impossible, turn on night mode or wear blue light glasses. Your brain needs darkness as a signal. Give it one. Mistake 2. Drinking alcohol to fall asleep. This one is tricky because alcohol actually does help you fall asleep faster. So people assume it's helping. It is not helping. It is performing a very convincing trick and then destroying everything in the background while you're none the wiser. Here's what's happening. Alcohol is a sedative. It slows your brain down quickly, which is why you feel drowsy. But sedation is not sleep. The two feel the same from the inside, but they are completely different things biologically. Real sleep has stages: light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, each one doing specific repair work. Alcohol collapses that structure. It suppresses REM sleep, which is the stage where your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and does what scientists call overnight therapy. So you fall asleep fast. You sleep deeply for a few hours. Then the alcohol wears off, your brain tries to rebound into REM, and you wake up at 3 a.m. with your heart racing, your mind running, and no idea why. The next morning you feel like you slept for 20 minutes inside a tumble dryer. The fix: stop drinking at least 3 hours before bed. Your liver processes roughly 1 standard drink per hour. Give it time to finish before you try to sleep. Mistake 3. Inconsistent sleep and wake times. Your body runs on a clock. A real one. Deep inside your brain sits a cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Think of it as your body's internal alarm system, and it runs on a precise 24-hour cycle. It controls when you feel sleepy, when you feel awake, when your body temperature rises and falls, when your hormones release. Everything. That clock runs best when it has a consistent schedule to follow. When you sleep at roughly the same time every night and wake at the same time every morning, your body knows exactly what to do and when. Sleep comes easily. Waking feels natural. But when your schedule changes, staying up until 2 a.m. on Friday, sleeping until 10 a.m. on Saturday, then trying to be in bed by 11 on Sunday, your internal clock gets confused. It doesn't know when night is anymore. Scientists call this social jet lag. It feels like flying to a different time zone every single weekend without leaving your bedroom. The fix: pick a wake time and protect it. Even on weekends, even when you slept badly, the wake time is what anchors your clock. Everything else follows from it. Mistake 4. Hitting the snooze button. Snoozing feels kind. It feels like a gift to yourself. 9 more minutes. Just 9 more minutes, and you'll be ready. You will not be ready. You will be worse. Here's why. When your alarm goes off, your brain has already started the process of waking up. Cortisol, the hormone that gets you alert and ready for the day, has begun rising. Your body temperature is climbing. Your brain is surfacing from sleep. When you hit snooze and fall back asleep, your brain does something unfortunate. It starts a brand new sleep cycle. A full sleep cycle takes 90 minutes. You have 9. So when the alarm goes off again, your brain is now being dragged out of the beginning of a sleep cycle. It never got to finish, which is the worst possible moment to wake up. That groggy, heavy, confused feeling even has a name: sleep inertia. And snoozing makes it dramatically worse. The fix: set one alarm for the time you actually need to get up. Put your phone across the room if you need to. The first alarm is always the kindest one. Mistake 5. Sleeping with the room too warm. To fall into deep sleep, your body needs to drop its core temperature by about 1 to 2 degrees. This isn't optional. It's a biological requirement. Your body literally cannot enter deep sleep without this temperature drop happening first. When your room is too warm, Your body can't cool down efficiently. It keeps trying. You keep tossing and turning. You might fall asleep eventually, but you'll stay in lighter stages, never quite reaching the deep, restorative sleep your body is working toward. You wake up feeling like you rested on top of sleep, rather than inside it. The ideal sleep temperature for most people sits between 16 and 19 degrees Celsius, which feels surprisingly cool if you're not used to it. But cool rooms are not a preference. They are a biological requirement your body has had since long before central heating existed. The fix: turn the temperature down before bed. Open a window. Use lighter bedding. Let your body do what it's been trying to do. Mistake 6. Caffeine after 2 p.m. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine, the chemical that builds up in your brain all day and makes you feel sleepy. Caffeine doesn't give you energy. It just hides the tiredness signal, which is why when it wears off, you feel the tiredness all at once. Here's the part most people don't know. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours. That means if you drink a coffee at 3 p.m., half of that caffeine is still active in your bloodstream at 8 or 9 p.m. A quarter of it is still there at midnight. You might fall asleep fine. Caffeine doesn't always prevent sleep, but it reduces deep sleep significantly, even when you're not aware of it. You sleep through the night and wake up tired without knowing why caffeine was the reason. The fix: cut caffeine by 2 p.m. at the latest. If you're sensitive to it, make it noon. Switch to decaf or herbal tea in the afternoon. Your evening self will thank your afternoon self. Mistake 7. Eating too close to bedtime. Your digestive system and your sleep system do not enjoy sharing a schedule. When you eat a large meal close to bedtime, your body has to make a choice between digesting food and initiating sleep. It tries to do both. It does neither particularly well. Digestion raises your core body temperature, the opposite of what your body needs to fall into deep sleep. It also triggers insulin release, keeps your metabolism active, and in some people causes acid reflux that worsens when lying flat. The result is lighter, more fragmented sleep, the kind where you wake up several times without knowing why, and spend the night doing a slow rotation around your mattress, like something left unattended on a barbecue. The fix: finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. If you're genuinely hungry close to bedtime, a small light snack is fine. The problem is large meals, not food itself. Mistake 8. Exercising too late at night. Exercise is one of the best things you can do for your sleep quality, just not at 10 p.m. Here's the conflict. Exercise raises your core body temperature. It releases cortisol and adrenaline, the hormones your body uses to perform under pressure. It raises your heart rate and keeps it elevated for some time after you stop. All of these things are the opposite of what your body needs to wind down into sleep. Your body needs temperature to drop, cortisol to fall, and your nervous system to slow down. Late night exercise asks your body to do the exact opposite, right before it needs to do all three. The fix: try to finish intense exercise at least 3 hours before bed. Morning and early afternoon workouts actually improve sleep quality that same night. If evening is your only option, switch to lighter movement, walking, stretching, yoga, which supports sleep rather than fighting it. Mistake 9. Sleeping with the lights on. Even dim light matters more than you think. Your skin and eyes both contain receptors that detect light and report back to your brain's internal clock. Even a lamp left on across the room. Even the standby light on your TV. Even the streetlight coming through a thin curtain. Research from the National Institutes of Health found that sleeping with even a moderate amount of light in the room increased heart rate during sleep, reduced deep sleep time, and raised insulin resistance the following morning, a marker of metabolic stress. Your body is not fully offline when you sleep. It is still monitoring the environment, and light tells it the environment is not safe to fully rest in. The fix: make your room as dark as you possibly can. Blackout curtains are one of the highest return investments you can make for sleep. An eye mask costs almost nothing and works immediately. Mistake 10. Napping too late or too long. Napping is not the enemy. Bad napping is the enemy. And bad napping has two very specific forms. The first is napping too long. Sleep comes in 90-minute cycles. If you nap for 45 minutes or more, you risk entering deep sleep and waking up mid-cycle, which produces that heavy, disoriented feeling that makes you worse than before you napped. The sweet spot for a nap is 10 to 20 minutes. Short enough to stay in light sleep, long enough to feel genuinely restored. The second mistake is napping too late. Adenosine, the sleepiness chemical, builds up all day and is what drives your urge to sleep at night. Napping burns through adenosine. Nap at 4 p.m., and you've spent some of that sleep pressure early, which means when bedtime arrives, your body simply isn't tired enough. You lie there, you stare at the ceiling, you check your phone, then you scroll and make mistake number 1. The fix: keep naps to 20 minutes maximum. Keep them before 3 p.m. Set an alarm. Respect the window. Mistake 11. Checking the clock when you wake at night. You wake up at 3 a.m. You look at your phone to check the time. You see it's 3 a.m. You now know exactly how many hours of sleep you've lost, and exactly how many remain before your alarm goes off. Your brain does the maths. Your brain does not like the maths. Your heart rate rises slightly. Your mind starts moving. You are now significantly more awake than you were 30 seconds ago. Checking the clock when you wake at night is one of the fastest ways to turn a brief natural awakening, which everyone has, multiple times per night, without remembering them, into a genuine episode of insomnia. The moment you have a number to fixate on, your brain treats it like a problem to solve, and it will attempt to solve it at full cognitive power at 3 a.m. The fix: turn your clock away from you, put your phone face down. If you wake in the night, don't check the time. Your body knows when it needs to be awake. It doesn't need your help doing the countdown. Mistake 12. Using your bed for everything except sleep. Working in bed, eating in bed, watching TV in bed, scrolling in bed, having arguments in bed, having existential crises in bed. Your brain learns associations. When you consistently do a wide variety of activities in bed, your brain stops associating the bed with sleep. It starts associating it with everything. So when you lie down with the genuine intention of sleeping, your brain doesn't get the signal. It gets confused. It thinks you might be about to work, or watch something, or worry about something. It stays alert. It waits to see what happens next. Sleep scientists call this stimulus control. The bed should have one association in your brain: sleep. The stronger and more exclusive that association, the faster and more reliably your brain shifts into sleep mode the moment you lie down. The fix: use your bed only for sleep. If you can't sleep after 20 minutes, get up, go to another room, do something quiet and low light, and return when you feel genuinely sleepy. It feels counterintuitive. It works faster than anything else on this list. 12 mistakes. Most people are making at least 4 of them right now without knowing it. And the frustrating part is that none of them feel like mistakes in the moment. They feel like normal life. Scrolling before bed, a glass of wine to unwind, sleeping in on Saturday, snoozing the alarm. All of it feels reasonable. All of it is quietly costing you the sleep your body is trying to give you. The good news is, none of this requires a supplement, a new mattress, or a sunrise alarm clock that costs £300. It just requires knowing what's actually happening, which you now do. Drop a comment telling us which mistake you didn't know you were making. Be honest, we're not judging. We're all making at least 3 of them. If this video fixed something in your brain, the subscribe button is right there. Like it if you learned something you wish you'd known sooner, and share it with someone who complains about being tired every single day but can't figure out why. We'll see you in the next one. Go fix your sleep.